Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. 1000-Week Reich as the Lebanese Republic. Now, last time we were here together, we tried to navigate our precarious political situation. And we thought we were coming to a bit of a middle ground where we could be able to survive. Backing of our French benefactors, but our French benefactors just got done saying that they cannot protect us right now. We're probably fucked. So now we get to see what ends up happening. Well, it's not like that really did much for us anyway. Dry thunder rolled over Babda Palace long before the storm itself arrived. A hot, electrostatic rumble that seemed to crack the very mortar between the limestone blocks. In the upstairs office, President Alfred Nakach stared across the hazed hills towards the invisible Mediterranean, where gunmetal clouds were gathering like an amphibious landing force. The telephone rang with a brittle clatter that joined Nakacha from his half-trance. He lifted the receiver, and the line exhalted a gust of distant streets, noise sirens, chanting the low-frequency groan of 1,000 bodies moving as one. Then came the voice of French Minister of the Colonies, Charles Platon. His normally precise diction frayed by static and fear. Pierre Laval had been assassinated, he hissed, as though naming the dead man might draw bullets even through the wire. Paris blamed communist infiltrators. Vichy blamed everyone but itself. The Platon continued. The order had been given. All French garrisons in Syria and Lebanon were withdrawn to the coast at first light, leaving only a skeletal rear guard, which would soon follow with their brethren back home. Nakacha's vision narrowed to a tunnel. Without the French bayonets that propped up his regime, paper foundation of the French protectorate of Lebanon would crumple like a burnt fat. Sweat gathered under his collar despite the brittle chill seeping in through the cracked window panes. A thin haze crawled under the door, stinging Nakacha's eyes, and for an absurd second, he imagined the building itself was tearing up in sympathy. He stumbled back from the desk, heart stuttering, just as the second telephone began to ring. Pierre Gamail's voice on the turk-green backlight line was urgent, nasal, and unmistakably triumphant. The Kateb leader had always sounded like a man who already owned tomorrow. Tonight he was simply moving his furniture in early. Crowds on Rue Wigand, he reported, chanting for sovereignty, chanting against you, Monsieur le President. They wave our cedar flag stripped of its French tricolor. They burn placards of Platon's face. Gamiel paused for effect, leaving the distant howls of protest leak through the receiver. We are ready to keep order. Our kind of order. Then, almost as an afterthought, he mentioned strange activity on the eastern border, trucks without headlights slithering down from the anti-Lebanon range, telegraph lines cut as cleanly as if silenced by a certain scalpel. Luckily SSNP saboteurs, he said, but in the same breath he urged Nakacha to blame the Najada. A single enemy is easier to shoot. Nakacha's hand tightened on the receiver, knuckles white. Everything is under control, he lied, voice brittle. Everything is under control. Nothing is under control. With a concentrated industry, so we kind of need to make the most out of our states. Icon Hanover, ICMA. Yep, here we go. There goes the French Civil War, the Syrian revolutionaries. Chaos in France. Now the Syrian Republic. German limited intervention in France. The Accord backs Free France. All very interesting. H-Dog is dead. Oh. A culmination of weeks of political violence since the nation's independence, an assassin suspected to be cooperating with the SSNP has used the opportunity to successfully strike at President Alfred Nakach during a Kateb party rally. Following the president's death, Pierre Gamiel leader in the more radical faction of Kitab, has assumed leadership and has begun crackdowns against the opposition, further fueling the already high tensions with our army being beaten from many territories and countryside. When will it end? Well, here's this guy, Pierre Gamiel, who is a phalangist developed by the ideas of Jose Antonio Primo de Rivera and Ramiro Ledesma, focused on authoritarian national symbols and secular, although friendly for church-state. It's considered one of the more revolutionary branches of fascism. Well, Pierre Gamiel was born in 1905 to a family of Maronite Christians, forced to flee from his home in 1914 due to his father's opposition to Ottoman rule. Gamiel grew up in Egypt, where he would learn at a school of the Society of Jesus. There, he would become a fan of football, and when the Ottoman Empire collapsed, he returned to Lebanon to become the captain of the Lebanese football team. His position would change his life in an unexpected way, as when his team visited Italy for a game, Gamiel would become fascinated by Mussolini's fascist regime, believing it to be Lebanon's destiny as well. When he returned to Lebanon after the 36 Olympics, reacting to the formation of the SSNP by Antoine Sadat, Gamiel would form the Kitab Party, molding a form of phalangism inspired by Mussolini and Franco. After France fell and Pétain gave Lebanon its independence, Pierre Gamiel was passed up for the presidency of the new republic due to his anti-French stances, with the position going to the more moderate Alfred Nakache instead. Now Nakache is dead. He never had what it took to lead the nation, appointed due to his lack of a spine, and being shot due to it too. The sun is rising on a new day for the Kitab and the Maronites, and Pierre Gamiel will be the one to lead them. Lead them into the dirt. Ayo. And here it goes. It all started in the south. Muslim majority units not responding to radio communications, soldiers turning their rifles on their officers, entire garrisons disappearing into the hills. Then in the north, trucks marked with the hurricane rolled down the mountain and into the cities. Garrisons overwhelmed and outnumbered. Beirut was last. The streets soaked with blood from all-out warfare between Kitab loyalists and Muslim militias were a maelstrom of gunfire, Molotov cocktails, and screams. The French garrison, already a skeleton, melted away entirely, leaving the government to fend for itself. By morning, the tanks rolled in. The streets of Beirut went quiet for now, but the country was not. It was civil war. Greater Syria will be realized. There we are. So we have the new Syrian resistance going on. The time of petty squabbles is over. New dawn rises. United Syrian nation from the Mediterranean to the desert, forged in the fires of revolution. There you go. So we have 0 factories starting off. That is actually just terrible. My God. Field Marshal will get Ghassan Jadid. And for a general, we'll do Salah Jadid. A lot of Jadids, I'm noticing. Oh, that reminds me. Check out the, make sure we get all the news events. That reminds me. The light goal. If you want to see me play Syria, because would be double dipping a little bit, I think. But if you want to see me play Syria, go back to the first video, make sure we have 25 likes, and then get me 15 likes on this video, and then we will have that going. We will come back one day, eventually, maybe, I don't know. Let's take a look at what we got starting off. Our leader is Antoine Sadat of the Ultranationalist Party. Pan-Arab nationalism, while a fairly new concept in its modern form, is a rather organic ideology. It comes in many forms, be it Hashemite Arabism, Baathism, or newly spread Sadatism. But Antoine Sadat did not conform to these ideologies. What he would create would be a new form of nationalism, one that would have the greater Syrian people leave their religious identities behind and unite into one nation, spreading from Kuwait to Hatay to the Sinai. Born in 1904 to an Orthodox Christian family in Lebanon, Antoine Sadat would travel the world from Cairo to New Mexico to Brazil, but never lost sight of his homeland, believing it to be destined to lead the people of natural Syria from the Persian Gulf to the Suez Canal, away from their religious squabbles and into a new era of prosperity. Forming the Syrian Social Nationalist Party in 1935, he would quickly be imprisoned by the French authorities in Syria, using his time in confinement to write his manifesto, not unlike a certain German leader he admired. Being sent into exile after release, he would form contacts with Germany, hoping to use Hitler's desired influence in the Middle East to his advantage. Now, with the collapse of the weak Syrian government over Syria and Lebanon, Saddam is finally one step closer towards leading the nation towards its natural destiny, whatever the cost may be. So, our ideology is social nationalism. Let's check that out. Not to be confused with any typical political theory, social nationalism, as explained by Antoine Saddam, in his communique of the First Social Nationalist Revolution, contains several core principles. The principles of social nationalism include anti-feudalism, opposition to capitalist tyranny, anti-communism, and a support for the formation of a greater natural Syria spanning from Kuwait to the Mediterranean coast. Simple enough, I think. Let's see what we all got. Fanatical dictatorship, semi-industrialized economy, war economy, closed economy. Let's see, we got Saddam. Not the best, not the worst. Ultranationalist, war sport's nice. Efficient sociopath as a minister of security. Not bad. And administrative genius. That's just pretty good all around, I can't lie. Though we can't use the construction speed at all. Take a look at our different benefits. First off, we have Emboldened Revolution. Really don't. It's kind of just a temporary bonus. We get a year of extra. Let me lower my speed for now. We get a year of extra benefits, which is quite nice. Next, we have Dreams of a Greater Syria. The dream of the Syrian people is expanding Syria to its natural borders. All across the Levant, Syria is robbed and divided by foreign powers, crippling the nation to its current miserable state. The SSNP seeks to unify all of Greater Syria and ensure the greatness of Syria lasts for 1,000 years. 1,000-year Greater Syria. Roll credits. And next, we have enemies on all fronts. Syria is surrounded with hostile regimes all around us, banding together in an attempt to stop the destiny of the Syrian people. The Syrian army has been drilled to reclaim and defend Syrian soil for years, and they are ready to fight when it arrives. Well, there we go. Well, I don't know what else to do other than to start moving at least a little bit. We have a civil war in Lebanon. Ooh, I should have read that. That was more relevant to us. Okay, you guys hang tight. We'll let these guys whittle themselves apart. And we doing casual. Nice. Yeah. All we can really do is just kind of hold out, considering we don't even have any arms. We can focus. We can get certain benefits against. Oh, let's get our benefactors abroad. That's probably going to be good. Let's get our benefactors abroad. For a long time, our movement has had the sympathetic ear of many within the powerful nation of Germany. Berlin will benefit from a close ally in the Middle East, particularly positioned as strategically as we are on the Eastern Mediterranean. Thus, we must reach out to them to show our support in the hope that they may supply us with aid and weapons. Please. We seem to be fairly understocked. I can say very, but fairly. Logistics. We could use those new guns. The Tripoli square was filled to the brim. The trucks that had entered the city the day before and surrounded the government's offices were now parked on the square, their sides adorned with a black and red flag of the Syrian Social Nationalist Party. The back of one of the trucks stood Antoine Sadat, flanked by several armed guards. In his hand, he held a piece of paper which he began to read aloud. People of Syria! Today we stand at the dawn of a new era. The end of colonialism and imperialism is over. The end of sectarianism and division is over. Today we stand united as one people, one nation, one Syria. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause as Sadat continued to speak, outlining his vision for a greater Syrian state that would encompass not just Syria, but the rest of Levant. It all begins from here, from Tripoli Square. From this day forth we shall march free towards our destiny, towards a new Syria that is free from the shackles of foreign powers and internal divisions. Long live Greater Syria! Long live the Syrian Social Nationalist Party! As Sadat finished his speech, the crowd erupted into cheers and applause once again. A shockwave is sent throughout the Middle East. There we go. Let's leave the espionage alone. And we're just going to let these guys grind up against each other. They're going to... I think our best bet is just let them wear themselves out. Massive waste of resources. I don't think we would think that, personally. Well, I'll let these guys keep fighting each other. Ooh. Thank you, Germany. I don't think we really need convoys, but you know, I'll take it. We have a Slavic revolt. Germany's just not having a great time right now. That's okay. Ukraine is collapsing in on itself. Not a great time to be Ukrainian. Well, that's okay. Our benefactors abroad have helped us out. Next up, do the Tripoli redoubt. That might be okay, actually. I don't know how worried I am about urban secularists. I don't know how much that'll affect us. Let's do the Tripoli redoubt. Get a fort in case they decide they want to attack us next. Tripoli stands as our northern bastion. Shall we be forced backwards, this great coastal city in the north of the country will shall serve as a strong redoubt where we can fall back and reassemble. Make sure to never fall all to our enemies. We will fortify its streets, rally its people, and turn the city to an unbreakable stronghold for the coming struggle. There we go. Promised military attaché from Germany has arrived and will support the reorganization of our army and the training of our forces. We will become as strong as the Germans. Lovely. Look at that. That's beautiful. National Party victory in South Africa. Yeah. Second Hungarian-Romanian War. We'll see what ends up happening there. Serbian Civil War. Interesting. It's the Chetniks versus the Commies. Curious to see who ends up winning there. The structure of DNA has been discovered. Look at that. Very nice. Man, we've got our guys pretty well reinforced. Oh, see, now they want to attack into us. Yeah, you guys can try. Albanian Revolution. Strike like a tornado. Speed and brutality will decide this war. Militias must strike fast, shatter enemy lines, and leave no time for the Kateb dogs to regroup. Victory favors the bold. Germany's canceling their Lend-Lease. I guess they don't want to give us any more convoys. Feels very bad. Yeah, you guys can keep attacking into us, but I really don't think that's going to be the best idea. There we go. Yeah. Settle down there. And they want to give us 17 convoys. Why not? Interesting. We'll see how well that goes for him. In the meanwhile. Yeah, these guys are getting there. These guys are falling apart right now. We just need to let them come into us. We knew a long stroke of gas pistons. Let's consolidate the Eagles, and we can do call to all Syrians. I think that's going to be the better choice here. Consolidate the Eagles. Our militia must be more than rabble. It must be an army. Discipline, training, and loyalty to the SSNP alone will turn these fighters into the vanguard of liberation. Further resources will be put into training our forces, both in terms of their discipline and abilities in battle, and in their ideological loyalty and commitment to the cause, until they are prepared to fight to the death if needed. German Civil War. Only a country's most vital interest justifies embarking on war. Otto von Bismarck. And Toronto is reinvading Norway. Interesting. I can't wait to have to edit out this music. And by that I mean just click the button on YouTube and edit it out. It's a shame. It's a banger song. Supervent is. Yeah, see, I don't... How are we doing? Yeah, the Lebanese Republic has 2.8 thousand casualties. We have 400. Give this guy a bonus. I think organization first might be the play. Focus on the Katab government. I think that defense bonus would actually be pretty solid right now, so let's get that going. Yeah. Well, they have more units now all of a sudden. We'll consolidate the Eagles. Get all the Take It Easies and Hotel Californias. New kids in town. Not all Syrians. Let's send that out. From Aleppo to Sidon, we are one people. Let's broadcast inflame the masses. Lebanon's borders are a lie, and only revolution can restore Syria's stolen glory. We'll call upon our supporters across the border within the Syrian Republic to take up arms and join us on the battlefield. With their aid, victory will be assured. We do have a nice fanaticism for Greater Syria, which is nice to see. They're really just throwing themselves into us. And that can't be going well for them. It just can't. Yes, danke, Deutschland. And now they're canceling one lease. Oh shit! They fucking won straight off the bat. Call to all Syrians. That gave us a whole one extra unit. Sick. Yeah, that's totally what we... That's totally gonna turn the tide right now. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. Yeah, I don't know why these guys keep wanting to attack into us. This really just isn't going well for them. I really... New industrial concern. New military staff. No, we have to own Damascus for all these guys, so we're kind of just twiddling our thumbs for a bit. We can't do anything with any of these because we don't have any military we don't have any factories outright. Bosnia's declaring independence. Well, this will not stand. But we're gonna have to let it stand for now because I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna go ahead and leave things there, my friends. I thank you all for watching. If you'd like to, like. If not, feel free to dislike. Hey, any comments or feedback, leave in the comment section below. I read all comments I get, and I do appreciate any of you might have for me. Checking my various links on the description box below, leaving comments, feedback down in the comment section below. And yeah, I'm gonna leave things there. Thanks for watching, my friends. My name has been Mr. Dog with 333, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.